Okay, now that our owl has dried, we're gonna go ahead and make the eyes, the beak, the feet, and the branch. So we're gonna need a white piece of paper, black piece of paper, green, and brown. So we're gonna start by making the eyes. So I'm gonna take the white piece of paper and fold it in half. Once I fold it in half, I'm gonna draw a circle. And owls typically have big eyes, so I'm just gonna make a big circle on the paper. And then I'm gonna take my scissors, and with the paper folded, I'm gonna cut out my circle. And we're not gonna be gluing anything down till everything is cut out. So we're gonna be cutting everything out that we need. So I'm gonna take these still have a little bit of pencil on them, so I'm actually gonna flip them over, and that will be their eyes. And then I'm gonna take my black piece of paper, and I'm not gonna fold it all the way in half. I could, or I can just fold it how big I want my black part to be. So I've just folded it there. Draw my black circle, because you're gonna need this black paper to also make the beak and the feet for the bird, for the owl. So you want to kind of be smart with your paper. So again, there's a little bit of pencil there, so I'm just gonna flip that over. And there are my eyes. And then on the rest of this, I'm gonna cut out the beak and the feet. Now, the beak I only need one of, but the feet I need two. So I can do that same thing again that I did for the eyes, and I can fold the paper in half and draw the feet. And I'm just gonna draw kind of like a big V and then some little V's inside of there for the feet. And I made that V a little bit longer because then when I tuck it under the paper, it will have somewhere to glue. So again, I'm holding both pieces of paper together, cutting them at the same time. Cut those little V's out. And again, you could be creative on how you make your feet. This is just a really simple way that I like to use because it works really fast and gives me exactly what I need quickly. Again, flip it over because it's the ugly side. Those will get tucked up under there when it's ready to glue. And then the last thing I need is the beak, so I can kind of just use whatever scraps I have left. And if you look on here right now, you can kind of see a triangular piece that has already emerged that would be really great for his beak. If you don't have that, you can just use your scraps that are on the sides. So I could use this one, maybe make it a little pointier. Or I could take the scrap that I have here. And again, if you need to draw it, you can. If you are comfortable like I am with just cutting it, you can. So I could create two different beak sizes. I think I like the bigger one. Just getting all this trash out. You do have your trash buckets on your tables. For those of you in class, you can put all your trash in the trash bucket. And then I have a brown piece of paper that I'll use for my branch. Last time we did glue our owls closer to the edge of the paper so that our branch could go somewhere. So I'm just gonna take this paper and I'm just gonna kind of draw, I don't know, a branchy like shape. And I'm not folding this one because I don't need it to be symmetrical. I just need one branch. I could take some of my scraps if I want to and add some other branches coming off and move his feet out of the way so I don't lose those. But like there's a branch, maybe that's another branch coming off. And then I'll use my green paper to make kind of like a clump of leaves and just draw a cloud shape for that. And you'll have some extra of the brown and the green, so you can kind of add what you want. If you wanted to add more branches coming off the big branch, if you want to make maybe some more branches behind him, those are all choices that you can make with your extra scraps. It's just a matter of time, so if we run out of time, you don't have time to add those things. So you want to make sure you get everything that you need to have for the requirement before you add anything additional that you don't really need on there. One other thing I can add to my branch is some details. Instead of it just being a solid brown piece of paper, I can come in and I can add some lines to kind of be that bark kind of design. I can use my green on my leaf. I can add some more cloud lines. Kind of give that just a little bit something more. So I'm going to start by gluing down the branch because I need to put the feet on top of that. So I'm going to flip my branch over. Again, you're not using big dobs of glue, you're just using quick dots. And I'm just going to kind of do a quick down the line. And then when I flip it over here, I'm going to actually slide it under the bottom of his belly. You should have not glued all the way to the bottom of the paper, and we did that for a reason, so we could slide something underneath it. And I slid it under his body a little bit, so when I put his feet on, they can fit there. Again, some quick dots on my stem. This is still wet, so I can kind of lift it up before I put that in. A couple dots on the back of my greenery. And then for the feet, I want them to be under his body because he's sitting on them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just one little dot of glue on the front of the foot and a little dot of glue on the back of the foot before I slide it into his body, or under his body. So between the body and the branch. So one dot on the front, one dot on the back. That'll make it stick to his body and to the branch. And then just slide it under. And don't worry about those little bit of glue showing because it's gonna dry. Also, when we're gluing, we're always putting glue on the smaller thing. I wouldn't put glue on the white part and then try to put his eye on because I don't know how much glue I'm gonna have there and I don't want it to make a big blobby mess. So I'm gonna put my dot on my black part and then add that to the eye, to the white part. And then I'm going to pick up my whole white part. Again, I'm putting it on here and not on the body so that I know right where to put it. Because if I just kind of put like a big blob there, I might put it not where I want it. And maybe this guy is a little confused, so I'm making his eyes a little wonky. And then I'm going to put a couple dots on the back of the nose. Again, putting glue on the smaller thing and adding it to the bigger thing. And then at this point, you're all done cutting out the parts to the owl along with gluing it. If you want to get out a white colored pencil or a white crayon, you could draw some clouds in the background. He is up high in the sky, so maybe there's some clouds on the bottom. Hope you enjoyed.